So we don't usually talk about third-party items from Transformers here on the podcast unless it's something that I truly feel Hasbro just really won't do, and I want to bring attention to it because us fans could be able to enjoy it. Now, in the past, there's been a few things that we talked about, and I've been like, ooh, despite the fact that we got an incredible crew with Mark and Evan, and we've gotten all kinds of crazy deep cuts in the Transformer world, and even the Toxitron collection, everything, once in a while we get stuff that just I don't think Hasbro would do unless they've truly ran out of ideas. And this is some Transtech stuff and some Kiss Player stuff, but more so the Transtech stuff. And it's pretty crazy what's going on here. And I'll kind of break down what's going on because there's a little bit of misinformation going on and people having discussions. So essentially what's happening is this weekend is Bakon 2023. August 24th to the 27th, and Bakon has gone through many different iterations over the past, I want to say 3 decades now that it's been around, almost 4. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. And, now it's in its latest incarnation. It's under new management, and they managed to procure a early debut limited run advanced copies of some figures. This isn't an exclusive to their show per se. It's just something, if you want to get it first, it's going to debut there, and then it will be available later on through different online retailers. And what is that item exactly? Well, like I said, it's Transtech related. But being it's a exclusive in a sense, it's a repaint of previously existing stuff to give it that Transtech flavor. So essentially what it is Mastermind Creations, a company that's worked with TFCon in the past and has done exclusives across other conventions. They're doing this limited run debut at Bakon, taking their R45 Nemo and Motif, which was essentially their IDW Chrome Dome and Rewind, and they're going to be repainting it into 2 characters. Who are those 2 characters? Even with a little bit of retooling also. Well, these 2 characters are going to be Transtech Cheetor and Kiss Players Rosanna. Their third-party names, and heaven help me to try to pronounce this because it's the Latin name for cheetah, Acinonyx. I hope I pronounced that right. Acinonyx is the name of the Cheetor, the Transtech Cheetor, and Symphony is the name of the Rosanna. So they took the Nemo from the original version, the IDW Chrome Dome. They gave it a brand new head sculpt and a brand new, I guess we'll call it forearm and weapons and stuff like that to really invoke those early designs by Draxhall Productions of Transtech Cheetor. It has a little bit of a mixture of a few things, a little bit of that Draxhall, but also kind of invokes some of that Derek Wyatt, Jesse Witherich inspired kind of head sculpt of Transtech Cheetor 2, because technically that head sculpt kind of originated through the Bakon guys and Fun Publication, and then when Derek Wyatt did his animated Cheetor, he kind of also pulled from that and made his own kind of version for the animated Cheetor, which was incidentally inspired by Transtech. It all goes full circle in a lot of ways. So it's very cool what they did here. And the weapons that are different from the original Nemo Chrome Dome version, you get weapons that are inspired also by the original Transtech Cheetor design, be it the original toy or even the sketches, the prototype toy. And it looks really good. It's not 100% like the original Transtech design. It clearly is still baked in with what was that IDW design of Chrome Dome, but I could see what they're trying to do here, and the little retools here and there kind of go a long way, even if it doesn't have the crazy big wheel legs and stuff. I mean, when you put it side by side with the Drexhall design and the old prototype, you could see that there is obviously big differences. And again, that head sculpt pulls more from the Fun Publication era of Transtech, less so than that of the original Transtech intent, which was that of a sequel of a Beast Machine series. We actually did a humongous segment about this with Aaron Archer and how that line came to be, why it didn't happen ultimately in the end, all kinds of behind the scenes photos, prototype pictures, everything on the Toy Armada and Aaron Archer. Go check that out. I'll put it in the pinned comment below and stuff if you want to go check out that nice long segment talking about the history of Transtech. But this is really cool though. I really dig it. I mean, they have to work with what they got to work with. I mean, they kind of are going more with colors that probably that's more infused with the Beast Wars Season 1 Cheetor, as opposed to maybe what would have been the Transtech colors, although we never really got final colors on those prototypes, and not really basing it on the colors of what Fun Publication did either, and not really basing it on the colors of what Derek Wyatt did with Animated Cheetor. It's kind of really its own thing, but I dig it. When you look at the alt mode, obviously, again, it's stuck to what's baked in from that which would have been the Nemo, aka Chrome Dome from Mastermind Creations, so it doesn't have an alt mode that really matches that of the prototype or the sketches from back in the day. But sure, I mean, it's about as close as we're going to get, so that's pretty awesome. So again, new weapons, new head sculpt, looks pretty good, just different enough that it's different from the Nemo, but also just close enough that you could tell that this is clearly a Transtech homage. This measures at 19 centimeters or 9.5 inches, and looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Some would say like a Voyager scale, we'll call it. More of a Voyager scale kind of figure if you really wanted to kind of, piece it out. Now, it also comes with another figure, much like the original version, and this one is a repaint of their motif, aka Rewind, into Rosanna from Kiss Players. That was part of the tape 3-pack that Kiss Players had back in the day, and Rosanna was the pink and white female cassette bot that became the breakout star of it, was a singer and stuff, and made a little animated appearance and made a little this and that. So nice to get a modernized version of Rosanna in some shape or form too. Here it's called Symphony, and what's different about this one, while the figure itself is 100% just a straight up repaint of the Rewind with that Rewind kind of design from the IDW book, it actually comes with 2 brand new weapons listed here as the Harmony Blasters, which make concerts exciting and battles enthralling. So 2 new little weapons included with that. The weapon actually that's included, the little blades that come with this Cheetor, it's also a play on the Latin name for a cheetah, because the full name of the Latin name for a cheetah is, and again, I apologize if I'm pronouncing this correctly, Acinonyx jabatus. So the character's name is Acinonyx, and the weapon is called Jabiter. So super deep cuts with that. Sure, why not? So this is going to be available at Bakon in limited numbers. It's just going to be an early debut pickup, kind of like the Bakon many years ago when you were able to pick up the Titan class Metroplex debut. They had a whole pallet of those at one of the past Bakons. I forget which one it was that we were at, but I remember a lot of people had a hell of a time trying to bring that back. But so that's going to be available. We don't have a price, but the original 2-pack, the R45 was $139, I believe it was, and that was 2 years ago. So I imagine probably something in that general area. And then, of course, after that, after the con is over, it will be available for the masses in some kind of online mass retail kind of situation. So don't worry too much about that. You will get an opportunity to pick this up. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. If you want to learn more, again, about Transtech and Cheetor and everything like that, go check out the Toy Armada segment with me and Aaron Archer, where we talked about the whole history of what was going on behind the scenes from a man who was there on the floor when Transtech was happening and then didn't happen. So pretty cool stuff otherwise. Again, we don't usually talk about third-party stuff here on the podcast, but when it's something that's really interesting, it's worth addressing and kind of making sense of it. So pretty cool stuff. Let me know what you think, guys, and we'll talk again here on the Transformer Slag podcast in the near future, and thank you for